So, good day. My name is Desiree Marie M. Hemblador, and I will be answering Checkpoint Exam Network Security Exam. So, let's start. So, in what way are zombies used in security attacks? They are malic- maliciously formed code segments used to replace legitimate applications. They are infected machines that carry out a DDoS attack. They target specific individuals to gain corporate or personal information. They probe a group of machines for open ports to learn which services are running. So the answer is they are infected machines that carry out a DDoS attack. Because a zombie is a computer that has been compromised or hacked and is remotely controlled by an attacker, usually to flood a target with traffic DDoS without the owner's knowledge. So that's it. So next, I submit this. What is a ping sweep? A network scanning technique that indicates the live host in a range of IP addresses, a software application that enables the capture of all network packets that are sent across LAN, a query and response protocol that identifies information about a domain, including the addresses that are assigned to that domain. A scanning technique that examines a range of TCP or UDP port numbers on a host to detect listening device services. So, a ping sweep sends a signal to many IP addresses at once just to see which computer turns on and reply. It answers who is alive in on this network. So that means a network scanning technique that indicates the live host in a range of IP addresses. Next, which requirement of secure communications is ensured by the implementation of MD5 or SHA hash generating algorithms? Integrity, confidentiality, authentication, non-repudiation. So the answer is integrity because MD5 and SHA create a unique digital fingerprint of a file. If even one bit of the file changes, the fingerprint changes completely. This proves that the data has not been altered or corrupted. Next, what is what is a feature of an IPS? It has no impact on latency. It is primarily focused on identifying possible incidents. It is deployed in offline mode. It can stop malicious packets. So an IPS is deployed inline. This allows to this allows it to actively block or drop bad traffic before it enters the network. So that means it can stop malicious packets. So next, in which type of attack is falsified information used to redirect users to malicious internet sites? ARPK cache poisoning, DNS amplification and reflection, domain generation, DNS cache poisoning. So, in a DNS cache poisoning attack, falsified information is used to redirect users from legitimate to malicious internet sites. So, the answer is DNS cache poisoning. Next. In which attack involves threat actors positioning themselves in between a source and destination with the intent of transparently monitoring, capturing, and controlling the communication. ICMP attack, man-in-the-middle attack, DOS attack, CYN flood attack. So, the man-in-the-middle attack is a common IP-related attack where the threat actors position themselves between a source and destination to transparently monitor, capture, and control the communication, which means this is a man-in-the-middle attack. So next, refer to the exhibit. The student on the H1 computer continues to launch an extended ping with expanded packets to the student on the H2 computer. The school network administrator wants to stop this behavior, but still allow both students access to web-based computer assignments. What would be the best plan for the network administrator? Apply an inbound standard ACL on R1 GI00, inbound extended ACL on R2 GI01, inbound extended ACL R1 GI00, R1 S001, R2 S001. So the answer here is to apply an inbound extended ACL on R1 GI00 because an extended ACL allows you to block specific protocols while keeping others open. Placing it inbound on R1 GI00 blocks the bad traffic immediately before it wastes bandwidth traveling across the network. So next, which two packet filters could a network administrator use on a IPv4 extended ACL? Choose two. Source TCP hello address, computer type, ICMP message type, destination MAC address, destination UDP port number. So the answer is destination UDP port number and ICMP message type. Because extended ACLs are precise, unlike standard ACLs, extended ACLs can check layer 4 details like port numbers and specific protocols. So moving on, refer to the exhibit. Which two ACLs would permit only the two LAN networks attached to R1 to access the network that connects to R2 G01 interface? So the answers are, based on the exhibit, the answers are access list 1 permit 192.168 and access list 5 permit. So what type of ACL offers greater flexibility and control over network access? So numbered standard, flexible, name standard, extended. So the two types of ACLs are standard and extended. Both types can be named or numbered, but extended ACLs offer greater flexibility. So next, what does the CLI prompt change to after entering the command IP access list standard AAA from global configuration mode? Router config std. Hmm. So I think it's router config std nacl hashtag. So next, which ACE will permit a ticket that originates from any network and is destined for a web server at 192.168.1.1. So access this 101 permit TCP host 192.168. Hmm. I think it's access list 101 permit TCP any host 192.168.1.1 EQ80. Refer to the exhibit. A network administrator is configuring a standard IPv4 ACL. What is the effect after the command no access list 10 is entered? ACL10 will be disabled and removed after R1 restarts. ACL10 is disabled on FA01. ACL10 is removed from the running configuration. ACL10 is removed from both the running configuration and the interface F01. So I think it will be ACL10 is removed from the running configuration because the R1 config no access list command shows the ACL from the running config immediately. However, to disable an ACL on an interface, the command R1 config if no IP access group should be entered. So next, refer to the exhibit. A network administrator wants to permit only host 192.168.1.1/24 to be able to access the server 192.168.2.1/24. Which three commands will achieve this using best ACL placement practices? Choose 3. Access list 101 permit IP host. Um, Interface fast Ethernet 00. Access list 101 permit IP host. IP 192. No. IP access group 101 in, interface fast Ethernet 01, access list 101 permit IP any, IP access group 101 out. So the answers would be this one, and then interface fast Ethernet 00 and IP access group 101 in. Yeah. Refer to the exhibit. A network administrator configures an ACL on the router. Which statement describes the result of the configuration? So the answer is an SSH connection is allowed from a workstation with IP 192.168.25.18 to a device with IP 172.16.45.16. So next, refer to the exhibit. A network administrator needs to add an ACE to the traffic control ACL that will deny IP traffic from the subnet 172.23.16.0/20, which ACE will meet this requirement. So the answer would be 5 deny 172.23. That 16.0.0.0.15.255. Consider the following access list. Access list 100 permit IP host 192.168.1.1 .10.1 any denied ICMP 192.168.10 0.0.0.0.255 any echo. Access list 100 permit IP any. So the answer is a telnet or SSH session is allowed from any device on the 192.168.10.0 into the router with this access list assigned. Also, so this is choose 2. So devices on the 192.168.10.0/24 network are not allowed to reply to any ping requests. Next, refer to the exhibit which command will be used in standard ACL to allow only devices on the network attached to R2G00 interface to access the networks attached to R1. So access list 1 permit. Let's just see the dulong numbers. 255, 63, 31, 63. I think it would be access list 1 permit 192.168.10.96 then 0.0.0.31. A network administrator is writing a standard ACL that would deny any traffic from the 172.16.0.0/16 network, but permit all other traffic. Which two commands should be used? Router config access list 95 permit any. Router config access list 95 deny 172.16.0.0 255.255.0.0 access list 95 deny 192.60.0.0 then 0.0.255.255. Okay, next. To the exhibit, the named ACL managers already exist on the router. What will happen when the network administrator issues the commands that are shown in the exhibit? The commands override the existing manager's ACL. The network administrator receives an error that states that the ACL already exists. The commands are added at the beginning of the existing manager's ACL. The commands are added at the end of the existing manager's ACL. I think it would be the commands are added at the end of the existing manager's ACL. What effect would the router 1 config X na NACL permit TCP 172.1.16.4.0 and then 0.0.0.255 any EQWWW command have when implemented inbound in the F00 interface. All TCP traffic is permitted and all other traffic is denied. All traffic from 172.16.4 is permitted anywhere on the port. The command is rejected by the router because it is incomplete. Traffic originating from 172.16.0 the 0.16.0.0 is permitted to all TCP per 80 destinations. A network administrator needs to configure a standard ACL so that only the workstation of the administrator with the IP address 192.168.15.23 can access the virtual terminal of the main router. Which which two configuration commands can achieve the task? Choose two. Access list 10 permit host 192.168.15.23 and access list 10 permit 192.168.15.23 and 000. Which statement describes a characteristic of standard IPv4 ACLs? Uh, they filter based on source IP address only. X. Refer to the exhibit an administrator first configured an extended ACL as shown by the output of the show access list command. The administrator actively access list 101 no 25 permit TCP any EQ22 U20 deny UDP any. Which two conclusions can be drawn from this new configuration? Choose two. I think it would be SSH packets and ping packets. Because after the editing, the final configuration as it follows: router show access list, extended IP address, 5 permit TCP, 5 10 deny TCP any, 20 deny UDP any, 30 permit ICMP any. So only SSH packets and ICMP packets will be permitted. What is considered a best practice when configuring ACLs on VTY lines? I think it will be place identical restrictions on all VTY lines. Refer to the exhibit. The gigabit interfaces on both routers have been configured with sub-interface numbers that match the VLAN numbers connected to them. PCs on VLAN 10 should be able to print the P1 printer on VLAN 12. PCs on VLAN 20 should print to the printers on VLAN 22. What interface and in what direction should you place a standard ACL that allows printing to P1 from data VLAN 10 but stops the PCs on turning on? I stops the PCs on VLAN 20 from using the P1 printer. I think it would be R1GI01.12 and outbound. Next, refer to the exhibit. An administrator has configured a standard ACL on R1 and applied it to interface serial 00 in the outbound direction. What happens to traffic leaving interface serial 00 that does not match the configured ACL statements? Traffic is dropped. The resulting action is determined by the destination IP address. The source IP address is checked, and if a match is not found, traffic is routed out interface serial 001. Any traffic that does not match one of the statements in an ACL has the implicit deny applied to it, which means the traffic is dropped. Which protocol is attacked when a cybercriminal provides an invalid gateway in order to create a man-in-the-middle attack? DHCP, ICMP, DNS, HTTP, or HTTPS? It would be DHCP. In which TCP attack is the cybercriminal attempting to overwhelm a target host with half open TCP connection? Thin flood, session hijacking attack, port scan attack, reset attack. I think it would be SYN flood attack. Which set of access control entries would allow all users on the 192.168.10.0/24 network to access a web browser that is located at 192.172.17.80.1, but would now allow them to use Telnet. So the answer would be uh access list 103 permit TCP 192.168.10.255 host. What is the term used to describe a guarantee that the message is not a forgery and does actually come from whom it states? Risk origin authentication mitigation exploit. It would be exploit. Oh wait, or mitigation, or risk, or orange origin authentication. Guarantee that the message is not a forgery. Oh, it's guarantee authentication. Refer to the exhibit. Network 192.168.30.0/24 contains all the company servers. Police dictates that traffic from the servers to both networks 192.168.10.0 and 192.168.11.0 be limited to replies for original requests. What is the best ACL type and placement to use in this situation? Uh, R1 G01, R1 VT Violas, R3 G00, R1 G00. I think it would be extended ACL inbound on R3 G00. Okay, so last number. A technician is tasked with using ACLs to secure a router. When would the technician use the remark configuration option or command? Uh, to generate and send an informational message whenever the AC is matched, to restrict specific traffic access through an interface, to add a text entry for documentation purposes, or to identify one specific address. Rather with the technician. Remark. So if remark, so parang name or text. So it would be to add a text entry for documentation purposes. So that's it. I'm gonna submit it now. So that's it, 97%. Review the assessment. That's it. Thank you.